Welcome everybody to the channel. This is the morning drive at 5. No, I'm just kidding. This is not that. But we are on the road, and yes, we are hands-free, we are safe. But if you're new to the channel, you don't know this, I'll tell you now. I am a working man, not a full-time gaming man, not a full-time streaming or content creating man. Maybe one day, that's the dream, right? But for now, there's times when I have to do life, and I get a little break in between doing life, not quite to game, but to give my thoughts on the gaming world, and in this case, eFootball, right? More in particular, I'm a football gamer, not just gamer, so I'd like to be particular about that. My goal is to see every football game there is succeed, because that's only good for the player base, right? Because when there's more than one good football game, every development company is held to the highest standard. If they falter, they lose players to a rival game. It's simple as that. Even if I didn't play a certain football game, or maybe didn't like it as much as another one, I still want every football game to succeed, because that will keep the football game or games that I do play, again, held to that highest standard, and that will, all the player bases will only benefit from that. So, why we're talking about eFootball today is because a new issue, at least in my world, came up. I had heard about it when, checking out other content. However, until the past 2 days, right? 2 nights ago, and then actually early this morning, where I was experiencing the command delay, the lag, where the first day was just really bad command delay. Today I even saw kind of the glitchiness on screen. Obviously there's two different things. If you've experienced it, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes if you're not, hands on the controller, you might not even notice there's delay, especially in a slower game like eFootball. Once the screen starts glitching out and stuff, then you're like, okay, this is going to be bad. And that's exactly what happened today. The first day, it wasn't terrible today either, but the first night it happened to me last night, or I guess now it would be 2 nights ago, it was awful. Literally, virtually unplayable. I would try to pass the ball, it would be so delayed that my opponent could, cover 10 yards and still get the ball. I would try to shoot, I would try to defend. Anything I did, it was just so late, it made the game almost impossible. The only reason I ended up continuing to play and ended up winning is because I faced very low level opponents. And that's not to say anything bad about them, it's just the truth. The events, you can play the events as many times as you want. And so fortunately for me, on my second go around, I finally got the 2 opponents pretty much close to in a row after like 5-6 tries, where it was just loss after loss. I could barely move. And even some of those games were close games, because again, they were lower level opponents, but not low enough for me to cover the lag deficit, or the lag handicap, if you will. But why I'm talking about this is because it really puts just a damper on the overall player base, which I think the eFootball community is the best. But at the same time, you have these rat players that hide behind, it's the meta, with quick counter and making a compact, really pencil thin formation, and just running at the opponent as fast as they can, and trying to hit through balls over and over and over and over, going to buy all the best players to just do this and not play football at all. It's like, those players are rats. You can hide it behind, it's tactics, but I know I heard Konami release that kind of tactic to like cover the players that had low skill, and then it just ended up taking over, and that's where Konami made the mistake. But the craziest part is this: even if you're one of those players that's like, I have to play the meta, I'm a competitor, I'd rather win, so I'll use the meta. Even if you're one of those players, in events, why on earth would you not try to play with skill? Why on earth would you not try to utilize all these amazing legends you might have in your team in these events, and actually play them similar to how they were in real life, or invent your own way to utilize them and make your own builds of them, but actually play football, not just hold down R1 and X as fast as you can go, and then on offense just hit triangle over and over and over again. That literally is not football. It's just every player is running straight line. It's not dynamic. There's no depth to it at all, and it really makes eFootball look terrible. And just the fact that I could play with terrible lag which also makes eFootball look terrible when the game's that laggy. But that's just a side note. The main thing is that even with that terrible lag and having to play a bunch of games in a row to get the wins I needed, I was still able to complete the event. Playing with lag, still trying to play good football, not just running in a straight line at the opposing defense, trying to win the ball and then, just through ball it, or trying to win like a tackle back and create a chance from that because I couldn't break my opponent's defense down. Like, never going for, I guess you would call the cheap route or the cheap shot. Always looking to, do the right thing, play the right way, show the players that are watching how, eFootball can be played. And I was able to complete the event, right? So there's 0 points in playing like a complete rat, not playing football and wasting your time for the minimal. This is the next thing, the minimal rewards you get. The rewards are so low level, so they don't matter that much. Yeah, I get it. They can add up, but the point is you get unlimited chances at these rewards that aren't that big of a deal, and you're still playing like a rat. You're still playing non-football in a game where you could play beautiful football. It's possible. It's literally just the player base that's the issue. And it just drives me crazy because there's no point. So that was the biggest takeaway, is that, guys, if you're watching the stream, it was just so awful. And I was still able to win out. So if I can do that, then you players that have these even better God squads, that have no lag delay, that are still choosing to play like rats, you should be ashamed, because you have the chance to really showcase how good this game could be. Utilize these amazing players you have in a way that, benefits eFootball and grows the player base, which is only good for the game and the players, right? There's more players to play. There's more recognition for the game. It gets more popular, which means more attention is put into it, right? So really look in the mirror and say, what are you doing with your life? If you're ratting away, if you're just using triangle, rushing players, and you got these God squads, or even if you don't, go use your time somewhere else to do something else. Like, this is my main hobby. This is the main focus. I would even call it a part-time job almost. It's just that it's fun work, right? But I spend a lot of time, as do a lot of players, in these football games, in the gaming world in general, and it's just so dumb to have a football simulator. Why we all play the games to get a version of football, right? Whether we're too old to go play in the backyard anymore, or we're resting in between games and that's our fix of football, or whatever the case may be, whatever age we are playing, we want to enjoy the game, and then these players ruining it. It's a bigger deal than a lot of people think, and it's pointless. That's all I had to say. So if you're one of those players, really think about trying to learn how to play the game the right way and getting some skill, because otherwise you're totally wasting your time. So that was all I wanted to talk about on this video. Hopefully, maybe this could blow up and reach some people that it might change their minds on how they play, and maybe not. But the other pipe dream is maybe this gets to somebody at Konami, or somebody that can get it to somebody at Konami, where they can understand that this meta right now, this quick counter with the pressure tactics, with the little crap compact formation, so that the opponent just has nowhere to pass it, and then you just have players running at you 100 miles an hour to try to then get a through ball or just a straightaway shot. It's got to go. It's not doing good for the game at all. There's no good coming from it. And, to the players who are committed and want to play at a higher level, it's getting pretty debatable if it's worth playing or not. So I'll leave it at that. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Keep grinding, keep having fun, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.